What's going on, guys? Welcome to our first episode of Money Talks podcast. Today we have a very special guest, but before we introduce him, my name is Rafael.
Sebastian.
I'm Tony.
All right, so today we have with us a very own regional agency director for Symmetry Financial Group. He's also the first and only Mexican equity partner, agency owner, and a lead producer. He's also a great, godly, loving man, great husband, father, and he's our very own mentor, which we are really grateful for, and we are really appreciative of to have him here today with us, Mr. David Alvarado.
Thank you for having me.
Latino gang.
Thank you, David, for being here with us today. We're really happy to have you here today with us, especially because we work alongside you for about a year now. So we're just really happy to have you here today with us, man.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for you guys working hard. This business, to be an entrepreneur is not easy by any means. And it takes a certain individual that's willing to change and let go of who they were to become who they are or they're going to be. And that's what this business does for you.
Of course. And today we're going to be talking about, your journey, right, in the entrepreneurship, and, where you started, right? Because a lot of people, like I mentioned, they see you on Instagram, right, being successful, but they don't see all the work that comes behind it. So today we're going to be talking about that. And just to get to know you better, right? We know you, right, because we work alongside you, but there's a lot of people out there that they don't know about this business and they don't know about you. So
Yeah.
we're going to have a fun time, right?
Yeah, people just need to listen to the story. Every story is very powerful, especially entrepreneurship. And that's the basis around this whole podcast, that we're here to bring light on those stories. Because someone may be in those shoes that you were back then, right now, and that's just going to help them go through it. It's going to help them overcome it, whatever's going on. And I'm very glad to have you here. Your story is inspiring.
Amazing. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's dive in.
And there's a lot we also don't know,
Yeah.
There's a lot we also don't know. So trying to have a deep dive into
To
your
who
journey.
David Alvarado
Your
is.
journey.
Get ready, guys.
It's going to be quite a ride. All right. So, obviously thinking about your journey, take us back to the beginning of that, right? What inspired you to enter this industry, and what were some of the initial challenges you faced when you first started?
Well, we're going back now 20 years roughly. And man, time goes by fast. When you're having fun, it goes by fast. And you start realizing that you could actually slow down time with intentionality, with being present. And that's something that I think once you hit your 40s, you start realizing, hey, I'm at my halfway point. I got to start enjoying everything I'm doing from this point forward. Because when I was your age, right, 21, 22, 23, you're not thinking about tomorrow. You're not thinking about much other than, hey, what could I do to get up in life? Right? Where could I achieve my goals and dreams? What business can give me that? Because a job will never do that, right? And graduating high school, that is where you are indoctrinated into that. Get a job, get a degree, go get a career, and live happily ever after. And that story doesn't exist. It is mountain over mountain of challenges that you will have to get over and overcome and eliminate that woe is me mentality, because it does happen and you're going to be tested and you're going to have to overcome these challenges every single day. But I can tell you, it started with me getting a degree, getting a job in my career, and being excited about what I'm doing in the electronics industry. I love math, I love computers, and that's what I wanted to do, and I seen myself doing it. But I quickly understood that you can't make a whole lot of money when you're being taxed at the highest rate possible. You can't do that. It's just no possible way. Government is just, here's 30% gone, here's 30% gone. And then, of course, you're investing in retirement and things like that, and insurance, but still, 30 to 40% of your check is gone from a W-2 employee.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And when you get a job and you think you deserve that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month income, and you don't, because you're starting right at the bottom again. At the beginning of your career, you're not getting paid much, 16, 17 bucks an hour. Mm-hmm. After you spent $200,000 in education. How are you supposed to pay for loans making bare minimum, right? It's a little bit after taxes and everything. It's not possible.
And I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about this was going on 20 years ago to now. With that being said, I mean, 20 years ago, what were the conversations around you like? Was it still, were any people talking about entrepreneurship? Was that different? Was that even mentioned back then?
No, man. Nobody's talking about opening up their own business. You know, you think about opening your business, you're crazy. Something's wrong with you.
You're weird.
So, you know, you're weird. Either you're getting a business from your parents, right? Your parents are giving you a business. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to take over my parents' business. But nobody talks about opening up your own business, going into business for yourself. You don't have enough money. You don't have an experience. You don't know anybody for entrepreneurship.
It's too risky.
It's too risky. Oh my gosh. So you talk about opening up your own business, and everybody is like, no, don't do it. No, that's local. You know, it's like your parents, especially my parents. Even though my parents are entrepreneurs, but they didn't want me to be an entrepreneur. They wanted me to go get a job that pays me $100,000 a year, and they weren't making $100,000. They were making more than that, but they weren't talking business to me. So how I got into the insurance industry was not because I chose to become an entrepreneur, but because I got fired. I got laid off. And the only reason I got laid off is because I was talking too much about the value that I bring to myself and to this company.
To the company.
And guess
And they
what
didn't
happened?
like that.
No, they didn't like that.
And I feel like that's the spirit that we all have, right? Of like, we're at a job, but we see the value in us, right? And like, we feel like there's more out there like for us, right? So I feel like that's what guide us into like starting our own, our own business, right?
Yeah.
But you joining this industry, what are the challenges that you faced, like when you first started, your first few months?
Oh man, you're taking me back to that day. You know, when you start this industry, you're extremely excited. You're in a new environment. You're not wearing a work boots and in some Dickies and in a tool belt. You're wearing a suit. You're wearing nice clothes, slacks, and you're in the office. It's intimidating, right? It's intimidating. Like, what do I got to do now? I gotta call people and set appointments. Well, I was excited. I had confidence in myself, but you don't know how to handle objections until an objection hits you, right? And you start realizing that, hey, I have two options. I either get back up or I stay down.
You get humbled real quick, huh?
You get humbled real quick.
Real quick.
And you know, objections is good for you, right? Everything bad that happens in your life is a good thing if you choose to see it that way. Or it's a bad thing because you choose to see it that way.
That's one thing that when you come into entrepreneurship that, when at your job, it was so bad to like fail.
Yep.
Like, it was so bad, right? And then you come in here and they say fail. That's going to help you grow.
That's exactly
so I feel like that's the switch that it's kind of hard, that, like you're here, but your mentality is still stuck in your past and what you grew up with.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was even hard for us, right? Coming in and saying, okay, it's okay to fail, right? That's going to help me grow. It's okay to get uncomfortable. That's going to help me grow.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody goes through the same path.
I mean, I remember when I'll fail, I'll be scared to tell you guys because failing was a bad thing. And then the more you speak about it, though, the sooner you open up to your failures in front of everyone, the office. I mean, if you're here dialing, we were scared to dial in front of people because we're scared of messing up or them telling us, but that's the way for us to get better. Right here, you're corrected at a job. You don't get corrected. You just get in trouble. 1 check, 2 check, 3 check marks, and you're out. Yeah. That's it. And here you get constant correction.
Write-ups. You get write-ups.
Write-ups, yeah.
Oh, man. I got so many write-ups. I worked at the casino. I got written up the most.
Yeah.
They never fired me, though. I quit, but they never fired me.
I know. I remember at my job, I mean, I didn't get a write-up. I was only there for my job after college, I was only there for a year, but I would hear a lot of people get, like they get write it up. And I was like, damn, like they could get fired, But it was definitely different coming in here, right? And just having that switch in that mentality. But I feel like something that stops a lot of people from building their own business is like what we mentioned right now, right? The opinions of others, right? Being afraid of like, what are other people going to think or what, or what are they saying? But I feel like, that's a lot of people that their dreams, like they're too scared to go and grab them.
Yeah.
Right? So if if you're a go-getter, right, and you want to chase those dreams, right, don't get influenced by other people, right?
Yeah.
Go after them, you know, and surround yourself from those that like also, you know, they're self-motivated, you know, they also want to start their business, building those relationships with people that think like you and they have the same mindset.
Right.
I feel like that's very important.
So beginning for you, what was the biggest struggle you faced with?
Again, it's handling objections,
Handling
right? Handling objections. Listen, one of the things that I don't think anybody's good at is handling objections.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're excited, so you can handle objections when you're excited. Like nothing gets you down, not even an objection. But what happens is that excitement eventually goes away, right? It's that dopamine hit that you're like, man, I'm so excited, I can do it. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do it. It doesn't matter. And then that excitement eventually goes away. And when that excitement goes away, experience has to keep up. And generally speaking, it doesn't. You don't build experience as fast as excitement goes away. And when that happens, you lose energy, you lose interest, you lose the endurance to handle objection. And then you start having these questions, these doubts that come up in your mind. Can I do this? Am I equipped to do this? Should I just go back to my old job? And yet all that comes in mind.
Or you start blaming like the leads. You start blaming
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not getting
Other
support.
Victim mentality kicks in. And, you know, again, it's all inherited, right? I inherited that from my parents. My parents taught me that. I was pre-programmed to think that way. You can't, you won't. And I heard it from everybody from back then. A girlfriend I used to date, you shouldn't do it. You go back to your job. My mom, same thing. You shouldn't do it. You're just going to fail anyway, and you're going to go back. You're going to waste your time. How many times have every entrepreneur heard the same exact thing? And I can tell you the only thing that kept me going is not allowing those people to be right.
Yeah, that's the scary part. I mean, there's going to be people telling you that all the time.
Yeah.
But there's some individuals that actually do listen to that. Hey, don't do it. Go
Yeah.
back to your job.
They
And
follow
they fell into it. They were scared and they just missed out on an opportunity of a lifetime. We're looking 10, 20 years now. I mean, there's people starting now because back then they were too scared. And they realized, wow, I should have just started.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have listened to those people. I should have done it. And they regret it now.
Yeah.
That's-
I mean, I got people that I started with back in 05 that are hitting me up now, literally 19 years later. Hey, Dave, I want to join you. I know we used to work insurance together, and I want to do the insurance game again. Great. Let's get going, right? There's no better time to start it than today. But what did he lose back then from leaving the industry and now coming back? Time and money. Time, money, experience. So going back to your question is what's the most learning process is that you have to learn how to learn from others. You have to learn how to leverage people around you that are willing to help you. Because, you know, me, I'm the hard-headed as I was. I thought I can figure this out by myself. And now I can see people a mile away that think they can figure this out by themselves. And I tell them, good luck. Because this business is way too hard. Business in general is way too hard.
It's hard
To try to figure it out by yourself. Create a community of people. I guarantee you, if you surround yourself around business owners, every conversation will be how to get over an objection, how to get over the next problem, how to get over the next hurdle. And all of a sudden, you guys are a bunch of problem solvers.
Yeah.
What did you do? Who did you hang out with before then?
Complainers.
A bunch of complainers, a bunch of problem creators.
Problem
And they just sit there in the problems. Oh, well, F this government, F this country, F this state. And it's all about F this being, and it's woe is me. My company sucks, my job sucks, my this sucks, my that sucks. And all of a sudden, they just keep burying themselves deeper and deeper and deeper. And I used to be one of those guys. All of us in this room can agree that we were one of those guys.
Yeah, we were.
And it's not until you decide to say, you know what? I can do this. I will do this. And everybody outside of me that's trying to prove me wrong, that I can't, that's my fuel.
That's your fuel. That's what's going to get you going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like we all went there in the beginning. I mean, each one of us, our own families, you know, we all had, you know, I remember my sister came up to me and she was like, why are you going to quit your job?
Yeah.
She's like, they're not paying you good enough or what? You know, and like at that time, it wasn't really about the pay because, I mean, I was living comfortably individually, right? But I was thinking more about like, okay, like right now I'm good, but what's going to happen when I want to start a family? What's going to happen when I want to go ahead and I want to live independently? Am I going to have enough for that? right? I don't want to be like, I don't want to get to like 30, 32 and like still living with my parents. Like, I don't want that for myself.
Right.
You know? So I feel like that's why a lot of people get stuck also in being comfortable,
Yeah.
right? But not thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Right? Is a job really gonna, because how you're saying a job, it can give you good income, but they're also taking away 30%, 40% just in taxes. And I was also thinking about that. I was like, do I want to give my money, you know, to like Uncle Sam?
So you think about it this way, because for everything bad for somebody is good for somebody else. Right? Listen, government puts taxes for a reason. They put taxes for because it's going to benefit somebody else, but it's going to take from somebody else. So choose to be on what side of that fence. Do you want to be the person being taken advantage of, or do you want to be the person taking advantage of the opportunity, right? And so I'm going to say, hey, having a job is bad because it's not. We all need employees. We all need employees, but we all have to graduate and move up in life where I started as an employee. I was an employee at one point, and now I want to be an employer. Right? I don't want to be just an employee all my life, and you never grow up, right? Can you imagine staying in the 5th grade all your life, 12 years? Like, no, you got to get to the next level, next level, next level. And being an employee is good for a season. That's it. Learn how business works. Learn how to be an employee, because in order to be an employer, you have to be an employee. And then you learn, hey, how could I get to that guy's level? And that's the first thing that I did coming into this insurance industry. I was an agent, but just like I was an employee, I didn't want to be an employee for the rest. I wanted to be an employer. I came in as an agent. My first thought is, how could I get to my manager's level? How could I be an agency owner? And the moment I got my license, I said, I'm going to do that in 5 years. And the only reason why I gave myself that limit is because that goal is because he did it in 5 years. But I really could have done it in 3, in 2. But again, it's self-belief. And it's that limited belief that we have, and you have to surround yourself around people that will always push your limits. Surround yourself around friends that say you can do more, you have more, and I can support you to do more. Can you imagine how powerful you become having that influence right next to you telling you, hey, you can do more. Let's go, bro.
That make you feel uncomfortable.
Every day.
I can't express enough how uncomfortable I felt when I met you. Like the first week I came into the office, I couldn't even look at you in the eyes. And look at you now. I have you like in a podcast.
Now we're in a podcast.
So, I mean, I've grown. That's helped me grow a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Learning from you, not only how, not learning about the business, but how to be a business owner, how to be a better person.
Yeah.
Right? How to be a better business partner to my other business partners.
Yeah.
You know, like it's amazing. This past year, like it's been the most, you know, I've grown so much. I feel like I've transformed into a whole different person that I'm really proud of now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just always looking to grow more.
You know, that is exciting about entrepreneurship, is that it makes you study personal development. It makes you study leadership, self-leadership, so you can lead others. Because if you do not study that stuff, you will stay small as a business owner. And there is such thing as business owners, you know, having their own business. They have a small little operation. Most of them don't ever make the $1 million marker, $1 million in revenue. Most of business owners do not make the $1 million marker. Why is that? They don't think they need to learn from anybody. They don't need personal development.
They only grow to like a certain extent and they don't carry on.
And I feel like that's something I just learned like not so long ago when it comes to leveraging people. Yeah. And I was like, David, what's that word? Because, you know, I was like, why use that word so much? And I learned that it's a way of like you using someone, but like not in a selfish way, right? Where the master, you know, the one that's the mentor is getting better in mentoring, and you're getting better, right, in everything that they're teaching mentored. You. Yeah, right. So you leveraging, like you, I leverage them, I leverage all the leaders around me. That's helping me grow, and that's helping them grow. Right? Because they're getting more levels of leadership. Correct. Right? So I feel like that's something that, I mean, we're still learning, right? Yeah. But it's something so valuable, super valuable. Like to learn not only to use the people around us, but go even more deeper. And that's why, you know, we're using this platform of the podcast so we can, you know, like network people and learn from others. right? And not being selfish with what we know, you know? In the future, teach other people what we know, right? And teach them to teach other people.
Yeah. You know, I know business owners out there that will never share their secrets. No, I'm not telling them. For what? I'm not making any money off of them. I'm not helping them. Why should I help them? Nobody helped me.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if everybody acted that way? Dude, everybody would be fighting each other.
There wouldn't be that many successful people.
There wouldn't be that. Exactly right. And so when you talk about leveraging people, you just look at it as a positive mindset where that mentality is, hey, I can leverage you, you can leverage me, and we can both win.
Yeah. And in this industry, let's talk about how that's the way to win here.
Correct.
Someone comes in, hey, I need to help you be a better person, a better producer, a better builder, because we all win if you're doing good. If you're doing good, I'm doing good. So it's just an environment where everyone is going to help everyone and make sure that you're getting to those next levels and you're learning. You're learning from your failure because it's going to benefit everyone. In the environments before, in my job, you're a laborer and then there's another person above you. They were making us, the laborers, do all the work, and then everyone else was just kind of chilling. They were just taking all the fruits, while the person that, and it gets to a point where you kind of you start getting kind of hostile towards that environment, and your business does not succeed in an environment like that, where you are not helping the other person grow and do good. Yeah. You're not helping them be successful.
That's
so can you imagine that, right? The fact that, hey, in a job environment, nobody wants you to grow, because if you grow, they feel like their job is on jeopardy, right? So they want to keep you here. You work your ass off until there's a room for you at the top. Not here. Like, you work your butt off, there's more room at the top.
Yeah.
There's endless amount of chairs at this table.
Yeah.
But in a corporate environment, no, there isn't.
There's
only a limited amount of chairs, and that's it.
And entrepreneurship, it's you take a lot of risk, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you first start. But what was one of the biggest risks you took in building your agency?
In building, the biggest risk is money.
Money?
Money.
Investing.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
It's always money, man, because you grow up thinking you got to save money, keep it, don't spend it. And that's exact opposite, bro. When we are indoctrinated in that mentality, you think money is so valuable, and it isn't. It's just paper, right? You hear so many millionaires say it's just paper. It's worthless. And it is. But coming from where I come from, right, in poverty, you're talking Mexican, I'm first generation Mexican, where...
Ahorra tu dinero.
Yeah.
Ahorra tu dinero,
mijo. Right? Uh-huh. Don't spend it on stupid shit. Why are you buying that car? Why are you buying that watch? Why? You can save it. And I get it. There's investments in properties and in real estate or even retirement and in business. And there's non-investments, right? But like stupid spending. But regardless, keeping money in your pocket does not make you better. It makes you worse. I can tell you why. Because it gives you false security. I got money. I don't got to work hard. I got money. I don't need it. No, I don't need to do that. I don't need to take that risk because I got money. That's like the worst thing ever, because risk is what's going to give you a return. No risk gives you no return. So many people have money in the bank getting no return. And they're excited about this CD giving them 5%. Oh, I got 5%. So what? After taxes, you got to chop down to 2.5%, and you did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And so saving money is literally a bad thing. And growing up, you have this indoctrination in your mind saying, hey, you have to save your money. And when you let go of that security blanket, like, no, just take it, invest it. All of a sudden, your business starts to grow overnight. Like, your business, all it needs is time, energy, and money. Time, energy, money.
So that was my second question. Like the risk that you mentioned of investing, does that pay off, right? It does pay off, right? As 20 years of experience, right? And it's something that a lot of people understand, right?
Yeah.
That when you start a business, they're scared to invest.
Yeah.
And that's something that we were also scared with, right? So we can relate with it a lot.
Yeah.
Of like, there's a trip, there's a conference where we can earn so much, but the money, we got to buy flights, we got to buy a hotel. Like right now, we're very budgeted, right? Like, is it something that we should invest in, right? And then we go to that conference and we come back and we double our production. So it's like, you know, so it completely pays off. Like, especially in the beginning, you know, that's the game changer. Investing more in what you're doing, investing more in yourself as well, right? Investing in books, investing in eating better, investing in just becoming a better person.
Yeah. You know, a lot of new entrepreneurs, they lack money, so they can't spend it, right? Oh, I don't have any money, so I can't invest. I don't have any money, so I can't invest. But there's no such thing as a scarcity of money, right? The only reason why you don't have money is because you haven't created it. Mm-hmm. Money is creation, right? You work hard, you create the money. But why don't you have money? Because you haven't done anything to achieve it, right? But I say, David, I don't have any money. But you can go out there and create it literally overnight. Go sell something. You created money. Go provide a service. You just made money. You know, and we've all heard this. If a crack kid can do what he got to do to get its fix, why can't you do what you got to do to get some money to invest in your business? Because you don't see the value of doing it, right? And so people say, well, I don't have money, that's why I can't invest. No, that's not true. You just don't see the value of investing your money, so you won't ever create it. You won't ever create the money. And if you did have the money, you still wouldn't invest it. Mm-hmm. And if you did invest it, you would invest it stupidly. Because when you have money and you didn't work for it, you invested stupidly. Just like people that win the lottery, they spend it stupidly. They were broke before the lottery, they're going to be broke after the lottery. Because they don't know how to earn it, they don't know how to work for it, and everything that's given is never valued, and everything that's earned is highly valued, right? So money is what is the most scariest thing to invest in your business, but because it's so scary, it makes you work the hardest. It changes you on the inside. Give it away. Give it away. Invest it. Invest it. Do not keep it in your pocket. You're not a baller if you have $1 million in the bank. No, it's about having assets. Every wealthy person talks about net worth. Not how much you got in the bank, but how much assets you have. That is the true baller. Not money, but assets.
Being wealthy.
Being wealthy.
Wow. And let's talk about leadership, right? As you've grown your agency, what have you learned about leadership and team building more than ever?
Oh, man.
Team building.
We're going deep. We're going deep.
Deep.
Yeah.
So leadership is the hardest thing to learn because you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. Culture is something that you are building intentionally or unintentionally. Mm-hmm. You are building it regardless. It's happening. We're building a culture right now as we speak, and we don't even know it, right? But if you're intentional about building your culture, you're going to get somewhere. If you're unintentional about building your culture, you're going to get somewhere as well, but you're just not going to like where you're at. That's it. So when it talks about leadership and personal leadership, because it starts with you, because if you can't lead yourself, you cannot lead anybody else. So don't even step up to the plate and say, I want to be a leader if you can't even lead yourself. So what does that mean? How do I lead myself, David? Well, you got to be intentional. What does it mean to be intentional? That means I'm going to premeditate what I'm going to do. I'm going to write the script of what I'm going to do today. I'm going to create my day. I'm not going to just let it happen. I'm going to create it because most people let their day just happen. Hey, my buddy called me. We're going to the movies. You want to come? Sure, I have no plans. Let's go. Like you really have nothing to do when you have somebody create that day for you. Right? I wake up this morning and I have no plans, so I just turn on the TV and just watch TV. I guess I'll go to the gym. Yeah, I'll go to the gym for a little bit. They spend 2.5 hours at the gym. They come home. What are you going to do next? I don't know. Spend 2 hours on Instagram, flickering up the reels. Ha ha ha. Sending funny reels to people. Ha ha ha.
Sending TikTok.
Passive scrolling.
Right?
Video games.
Yeah. Being intentional with your day is something that we wouldn't do in the past, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because
if I said that I wanted to go, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym at 6 p.m. If a friend of me texts me, hey, let's go, to go eat somewhere or let's go to LA or something, I would, F the gym, let's go.
Go to gym.
It's not being intentional. Definitely, it's something that we've learned a lot as well, right? Mm-hmm. Starting off our day with a routine, a schedule, right? And then not only that, but that feeling of the end of the day, you got everything that you said you were gonna get done. That feeling is like one of the best feelings ever.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's talk about how unfulfilling it is when you're going through your day by day with no schedule, nothing. You're just flowing through it, and you get to the end of the day like
You're up late at night.
You're up
just
late at
thinking,
night, you
like,
kinda-
what I do today. Nothing.
yeah. Personally, I'll feel empty. I'll feel like there's
can't even
something
sleep.
missing. Yeah, there's something missing. There's something that needs to change, and that's what it is. You premeditate your day. I like to do it the night before because you literally picture your day, and then the day happens, and you do it. It's that simple.
That's what they say too. That entrepreneurs they plan out their day the night before,
Yep.
right? And that's what I used to do too. I kind of stopped doing it, but I used to write down for my schedule the next day, the day before, and 3 things that I'm grateful about as well.
Man, that's such a big deal.
Being grateful,
Is being grateful. And,
showing gratitude.
you know, that's again another thing about leadership, you know, is you don't know how far gratitude will take you because you've never done it before. How many people are again taught to become grateful? Like we you know, your mom tells me, hey, say thank you, right?
Yeah.
You know, and say, you know, say pray, right? And in prayer is always gratitude, right? But what does genuine gratitude mean? Genuine gratitude, right? And it's when it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
When you are truly grateful for a relationship, you're truly grateful for mentorship, you're truly grateful for your presence and your time, great conversation. And gratitude really starts appearing in your life when you start being filled by the people around you
Yeah.
instead of emptied. Because I remember feeling drained or emptied with the people I hang out with. And they're fun. A lot of fun, a lot of good times that I didn't remember because of a lot of, you know, substance in the middle of all that, right?
That's
Yeah.
so temporary.
But you feel drained.
The aftermath, how you
Yeah.
feel is just
So yeah, gratitude is a huge thing. You know, I picked up this book called The 5-Minute Journal, and it forces you to be grateful, and it's so crazy how when you first start filling out that book. Every day, it's 3 things to be grateful for, 3 things to you're gonna do for the day, and just write it all down morning and night. And the first thing you open that book, you're like, oh, I don't even know what the hell to be gratitude about. And then all of a sudden, the second day, it gets a little easier. Literally 4 months later, you will be grateful for the smallest of things.
yeah.
The air you're breathing.
When I first started being grateful, like in the morning, I didn't know like how to how to put it into words everything that was happening to me because I noticed the change that was going in me.
Yeah.
But I said I'm grateful I was grateful with God for putting me in a place to be successful, right? For putting me in a place where I'm surrounded with great people, right? That I'm gaining all this knowledge that like everything that I'm learning that I'm just being put in a place where I'm gonna be successful. Maybe not right now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Right? That I started. Because I would always talk about it. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. But I wouldn't take action in it. So I was grateful that I was finally put into like an atmosphere, right? That I'm able to come into this office every single day and just be surrounded great people that are helping me grow and that I'm helping them grow.
Yeah.
So I mean, showing gratitude is definitely one of the things that I'm so grateful about. And I'm just thankful to have you guys here with me right now.
Let's take a moment of gratitude.
The moment of gratitude.
Moment of gratitude. But David, what is your advice to those young entrepreneurs, right, that they're upcoming on building a strong team? What is your advice to them? And what can they avoid as well?
Yeah.
You know, that you learn from your past.
Yeah. Building a strong team is really important because you can build the wrong team and it'll drain you. If you build the right team, it'll build you. And it's about surrounding yourself around the right people. Go to the most uncomfortable people you know and build your team around them. Because generally speaking, what people do is they go to the most comfortable people. Hey, it's my boy. He ain't doing much. He doesn't do much ever. He's a cool dude, but I'm gonna go to him because he's always available and he ain't doing much. But is he the right person you want to build a business with? Right? He may be a cool dude, but what if he's just not good for your business? And we all make that mistake. We all learn that way. So then you start saying, okay, well, I can't go to that guy. He makes good money. He's making 80 grand a year, 100 grand a year.
He looks like he lives comfortable.
He looks like he's got it all figured out, bro. I can't show him a new position to come and get uncomfortable and become an entrepreneur and start learning a new business. I can't do that. He makes 100,000 a year. Like 100,000 is so much money. Newsflash, that ain't shit. It is nothing, especially in California. You're still broke. And so those are the people you want to go to because those are the ones that do know how to work hard. They do know how to complete tasks. They do know how to see things through. And you want to tell them and inspire them. Now, you're not going to convince them. You're not going to sell them, but you can inspire them. And that is the key to building a strong team is going to the people that are uncomfortable to talk to and inspire them. How do you inspire them? That's the best question to ask. How do you inspire them? Because probably you can't right now, but you can leverage somebody who can.
And that's what I'm going through right now. Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. It's like, how can I lead people if I'm still trying to lead myself? How can I, how can I inspire when like I feel like I don't have that in me yet or something? But that's the thing about leveraging.
That's the thing about, and that's another thing is that we have to rely on our resources. You ain't gonna do this by yourself. If you have, let's say you're a 5, scale to 1 to 10, and you start, talking to an 8. This guy's better than me. His mentality's better than me. His leadership's better than me. He's got things going on. A 5 can inspire an 8. An 8 can inspire an 8.
Yeah.
A 9 can inspire an 8. A 10 can inspire an 8. But the 5 can't do it. And you have to be able to be humble enough to say, you know what? Let me introduce you to somebody that may be able to inspire you and share the opportunity with you so you know how this works and you can get a good idea. And hey, if you like it, great. If you don't, no big deal. And it's ain't for real, but it's ain't for everybody. And one of the biggest takeaways that I've learned in the last, even a couple of years is that we're all business partners in this world of business.
Yeah, we are.
We're all business partners. You have your own business. I got my own business. And nobody's employees. We're not. You don't work for me.
You don't tell me when to clock in. I don't tell you when to clock in.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people. I say, hey, look, like if you're gonna come and join me, you're not gonna work for me. You're gonna work alongside me. You're gonna leverage me, right? And we're gonna help each other grow.
But you're not gonna work for me. And what an exciting opportunity to say, let me introduce you to my business partner that is making 7 figures a year. Like, listen, if someone told me, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my business partner that's making 9 figures a year, that's 2 more zeros at the end of that.
Yeah.
Right? That's big baller.
That's exciting.
Hey, I'll clear my schedule to meet somebody that's making 9 figures. How many people would say, no, I don't want to do that? That's perfect. You're the wrong guy, bro.
You just cleared yourself out right there.
Yeah. You just canceled yourself. But if someone's going to say, hey, bro, I'm going to introduce you to somebody who's making 7 figures. That's $90,000 a month, average. You're an idiot if you say, no, I'm good, bro. Like, no, man, let me introduce you to my business partner that's doing big things. And so, listen, if you don't want to meet him, that's cool, bro. Keep your job, and I hope you're happy there. But if you want more in life, and you want to learn and surround yourself around people that are doing big things, come and meet this guy.
Yeah.
And those are the right people are like, done, let's go. The wrong people. So that word, let me introduce you to my business partner, is probably the most valuable thing that I've learned in the last.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Let me introduce you. And let's talk about the power of networking.
Oh, nice.
Right? How has building relationships within this industry helped you grow your business?
Yeah. Networking is probably the most important part of entrepreneurship.
In any business.
In any business. If you're staying solo, hey, I'm learning from myself, I'm learning from my people I have, you're limiting yourself so much. Like, I don't care what business you're in, you have to meet other business owners in that same industry.
Your network is your
net worth.
Your net worth is your network?
No. Your network is your net worth.
Is your net worth, yeah. So it's the people you hang out with, right? So who do you want to learn from? Do you want to learn from the guy that doesn't do this business, or do you want to do from the guy that does do this business? Do you want to learn from a guy that's more successful than you, or you want to learn from the guy that's least successful than you? Like, listen, even the guy that is doing less than you can learn from. I'm not saying you can't learn from that guy, but I want to learn from the guy that's doing it big. I want to surround myself around what books is he reading? What does he do on a daily basis? What does he wake up to do? What does he go to sleep to do? Hey, what is his routine with his team? Right? What is his mindset around organizing successful entrepreneurs around him? Because listen, the only reason why someone is successful is because they're making other people successful. Don't get it twisted, bro. He's not successful because he's doing it. No, he's successful because he's helping other people do it. That's the name of the game. The owner of Apple, the only reason why Apple's so successful is because they're creating a bunch of other successful people. Think about it. Steve Jobs, multimillionaire. Wozniak, multimillionaire. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Everybody, Apple has made so many millionaires in their business.
And that's what actually makes you, besides being an entrepreneur or a successful one, a business owner. Because nowadays, there's a lot of business owners that they're just slaves to their own business.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes back to that. They're not creating other people successful.
Yep.
Right? And that has them stuck in just being slaves to their own business. Meaning they're working, 10, 15 hours a day for their own business. But, that's also draining. That's like having a job.
Yeah, I mean, it's acceptable in the beginning, right? You're learning your own business, how it kind of works, but then you got to teach someone else, and that's a whole other skill within itself. Like, we could come here and produce, and we learned it, got a little bit better, so now we're going to teach someone else to do it. Yeah. And then it's going to keep going, they're going to teach someone else, and that's how you scale your business. You don't gatekeep what you know.
Yeah.
It's a really good topic to talk about is when you start your own business, you better believe you're an employee of your business. Just like you were an employee for your last company, but now you're an employee of your own company. And then at one point you're going to be, you're just the worker, and then you become the CEO, CFO, the inventory, the manager. You start hiring a couple people, you start helping, and all of a sudden instead of working in your business, you start working on your business, and you promote yourself from an employee to a manager to a lead to a VP, and then you become a CEO. But the truth is you had the entire job line of a CEO since the very beginning. You just have to you have to build it, and you got to build it with employees, and you're the first employee, and then eventually you become the CEO. And then eventually you become, now I hire a CEO and I don't even got to be a CEO anymore. And now my business runs by itself without even me being part of it. And that's what ultimately you want to be. But just because you're an owner of a business doesn't mean you're a business owner. Like literally a business owner, somebody who organizes people to do business, and you don't have to do it you don't have to be in the business. You need to be on the business. And I can give you a perfect example. My mother and father, they both opened up a business in cutting hair, and they were employees of their business their entire life. Their entire life. They opened, they closed, they cut hair, they did the finances, they did everything they needed to do. They were all hats, and they never created any type of leadership organization within that business. So guess what? When COVID came, they wiped them out, and they couldn't even sell their business. 40 years in business, walking away, closing the doors, never getting anything back out of it. Now Social Security's only paying them. Can you imagine if they would have done it correctly? Built leadership within that organization, built management within that. So then they don't have to cut hair anymore, and they can hire a CEO, and now that business is going to give them revenue for the rest of their life if they would have done it right.
Do you feel like you learned from that?
Oh, all day.
And let's talk about a little bit of you growing up, your childhood. Who was David Alvarado growing up?
Man, growing up, it was tough. I had an older brother. He's 3 years older than me. The guy can fight like no other. He should have been a UFC fighter. I kid you not. He's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He can box. He can kickbox. Man, the guy is a machine. He is a warrior. And
this is your older brother?
Yeah, it's my older brother.
3 years?
3.5 years. Yeah. So he's 45.
Is he the eldest?
He's the oldest. Yeah. We're about the same height. He's a little shorter than me, I think. But anyway, I grew up with him, and he was my hero for a long time until he started getting in trouble, and then he started getting in gangs because he has he has a different calling. He needs some, so he needed a lot of love from my mom, and my mom was always working, so he didn't find it, and so he found it in friends, and then he went down the wrong
path.
He went down the pathway. Drugs, nothing crazy, just weed, but still it messes with you, right?
Yeah.
Friends, gangs, and then he got into cutting hair, and he followed the same path my parents did, which he owns his own business, but again, he's working in his business, not on his business. I love my brother to death. He's a great person. He's everybody's best friend. But growing up, he always picked on me, man. He made me fight his friends' brothers, go fight him. I was the test dummy. He'd let me put you on this hole. Let me kickbox with you. I'd be getting punched left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So he toughened me up. I mean, he started working out at a young age. I started working out at a young age. I had a younger brother. His name's Paul. And we were a year and a half apart. So we're like really close in age. And he'd make us fight all the time. And, so being that, or again, Mexican, having an older brother that, that always really kind of dominated everything. And then he kind of, when he got older, he went off his own way. It was just me and my younger brother. And then we have another younger brother after 11 years. He was born. But, we fend for ourselves, bro, because my parents were always working. I mean, my parents would be home maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week because finally they take one day off. But if it wasn't church or a family's house, we were home doing nothing. Cleaning the house. Oh, my God. Cleaning the house was a freaking nightmare. Because every time we had any family time, we were cleaning the house. That was
the only time.
That was it. When my parents were home, we were cleaning the house. And we would clean the house all day. Like, it was nonstop. If we weren't cleaning the kitchen, we were cleaning the bathrooms. If not the bathrooms, the backyard. The backyard, the garage. If it ain't the garage, the front yard. I mean, there was always something to do. And that's how, even to this day, my mom's like, oh, I always got to clean. I'm like, man, like I pay for people to clean my house because I don't want to clean my house.
Yeah.
If I'm home with my kids, that is the last thing I want to do is spend my time cleaning the house.
The house. Don't
get me wrong, I still teach my kids to clean their room and their beds and things like that. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want my kids cleaning the backyard, front yard, like I grew up. We're going to spend time. We're going to go out. I'd rather spend $300. Someone come clean my house, let us speak and span, make us breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we're out enjoying life.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. And I mean, I wasn't a big kid when I was growing up. I was, a little smaller, late bloomer, what they call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a little shorter, so everybody picked on me. But I mean, everybody picked on David. Like, like they try to fight you all the time. I mean, everybody tried to fight me. And good thing I had an older brother that picked on me and showed me how to fight. As much as I hated him picking on me, I'm so grateful that he did that because it taught me how to fight, and I was always able to stand up for myself. So since a young age, I was always fighting and standing up for myself. Always fighting and standing up for myself. Because at one point, my older brother wasn't there. And now I became the older brother to my younger brothers. And, graduating high school, first thing I wanted to do is just get out of high school. Let's get to college. Let's get that out of the way.
That's what they put.
Yeah.
So you already had that in mind, that college. I need to go to college. I need to graduate. That was your mind in high school?
That's it. Like, what college am I going to?
It was ours too.
And is that due to like your parents or just like the system? Like
all of the above, man. Parents, all system. What college are you going to? If you're not going to college, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What are you doing? You're a loser.
Looking back, did you know anyone at that time that did the other route, entrepreneurship?
It was everybody got a job, bro. Right? Everybody. My younger brother Paul, he got a job. He became a waiter right away, and wait staff. You make pretty good money because your tips. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he started making good money at a young age. I had a job and getting paid $17 an hour. He was making $4,000 a month, making tips, and I'm like, dude, I'm making $3,500 a month with the paycheck, and $3,500 a month is pretty good for a 22-year-old.
That's how much I was getting paid.
Right? It's pretty
Yeah.
good for a 22-year-old.
We're talking like what, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
As well.
Right? So
Yeah, because now it's not enough.
it's not enough, but so I grew up fighting, wanting more. My
Adversity.
parents were entrepreneurs, but they didn't know how to be true entrepreneurs. They knew how to be employees in their business, but they didn't know because they made the money because we didn't live broke. We were good. My parents had a nice house, always had nice cars, always had everything, but we didn't have time with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
That we missed that. I can tell you we missed that a lot.
That
At least
family
I did.
time.
Yeah, at least I did.
Yeah.
So David, I saw I was on your social media this week, and I saw that you recently got baptized.
Yeah.
right? Could you share with us the reasons behind your decision in getting baptized?
Talk about that journey, God.
Relationship with God.
How'd that start?
Man, God's always so faithful, man, and He's always chasing you. He's always waiting for you patiently, and we all know who God is. You guys know who God is. You guys know who God is. Your parents introduce you, God, but you really don't know who God is until you want to seek Him. And I remember in 2018, 2019, I started realizing, man, I'm hitting a wall. I need leadership development. I need something. We're not growing. We're not getting bigger. And I started hearing things about, God and, Ed Milet. Have you guys ever heard of
Ed Milet. Yeah, he's good.
and I was like, you know what, man, I think I'm ready to create a relationship with God. And I put down on my goals in 2020, January 2020, I want a relationship with God. And God works immediately, bro. You put that on God, you put something in God's hands, bro, and He starts working. I mean, I had my dream home in Riverside overlooking a lake, 4,000 square foot home, 10,000 square foot lot, just absolute beautiful home. My dream home. I was gonna die there. I was like, this is it. I'm not moving out of here.
Yeah.
And then 2020 happens, right? COVID happens. All this stuff happens. We started investing in our home. We did a whole home remodel. Literally took 9 months to turn this house from 2008 style to 2021 with new cabinets, carpet, paint, bathrooms. I mean, we dropped about 200 grand into that house. It looked freaking spectacular. New furniture, new everything. And then, dude, I wake up one night and I was like, hey, babe, what if you sell it? And she's like, you're freaking crazy. You're absolutely not. We just put all this money into it. Hell no. Why would you want to do that? I was like, I don't know. What if we get something crazy for it? It's like, she said, no. I was like, all right, well, whatever. Just think about it. 2 days later, she's like, listen, babe, if you want to do it, do it. All right, we put it on the market, sold 2 weeks later for asking price, right?
For what it's worth.
No, above above what it was, what they call comps, right? Comparables. It was above that. You know? And so we sold it right away. Boom, sold the house. What are we gonna do next? Well, hey, I was like, babe, let's do something crazy. Let's move to Orange County. Let's move to Laguna Beach. She's like, you're freaking crazy. I was like, well, what's there to lose? Like, we got all this money. Let's just go have some fun and just do something different. She's all right, let me look. She started looking around and found some houses. She's all, babe, first of all, Laguna Beach is crazy expensive. It's like 10 grand a month to live there. And if we only live there short term, like, that's not, the moving shit is, if moving is a headache, you already know that. How about we move to Irvine, which is just not too far away, nice house. Look at these homes. Boom, boom, found a house, boom. Beautiful home in Irvine. Oh, same view. I have a view of Catalina Island in a $1 million home community. I mean, the most expensive homes in my community is like $5 million. Oh, wow. Just absolute beautiful gated community. You don't have gated communities in Irvine, by the way, not too many. And with views, and I have a house there in Irvine with a view. I can see Catalina Island. I can see the ocean from my backyard.
Wow.
And so, we move here. It's a smaller home. So, moving from a big house to a small house is a huge, huge problem because you have a lot of stuff. So we're selling stuff. And then one of my buddies hits me up. Hey, Dave, I noticed you're in Orange County. What are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm over here. I'm like, okay, hey, let's meet up. Cool. We meet up. Hey, what church do you go to? I don't go to church. Oh, why not? I was like, oh, I don't know. Don't go to church. He's like, hey, bro, hey, listen, I go to this church called Free Chapel. It's right down the street from here, really close to your house. How about you come with me? All right, sure. That sounds good. Hey, babe, you want to go to Free Chapel? Cool, let's go to Free Chapel. Let's go. We go. It's completely different than I've ever been. I grew up in Jehovah's Witness religion, right? So Jehovah's Witness people are amazing. Just never really felt like I built a relationship with God. It was all text, like religion,
laws,
text, laws, traditions, text, strict, right? And so I go in there and it's different. People are singing, it's loud. They're preaching different, and I'm like total shock, right? I don't know what's going on here, man. This feels uncomfortable. We leave. How'd you feel? That's all right, I guess. I don't know. And then like 2 weeks later, we go again, and they invite us. We go again. Okay, a little bit better. 2 weeks later, we go again. And I go, okay, it seems cool. Babe, you like it? Yeah, I like it. All right, cool. 2 weeks later, Mom was like, hey, I think I'm gonna get baptized. I was like, you are? She's like, yeah. Okay, well, all right. Well, I'll support you. She was waiting for me to say, oh, I'm baptized. I was like, I'll support you. Go get baptized. And so right around that time, we were gonna get our 10-year anniversary was coming around. And she was like, hey, babe, let's do a 10-year anniversary. Let's do a big party. Let's redo our vows. I was like, man, babe, I don't think I want to do that. I mean, it's just, again, post-COVID, everything's crazy. Everything's getting booked. Everything's 10 months out.
It's too much.
You know, so I was like, I don't think I want to do all that, man. It's our 10-year anniversary. We got married once. We don't need to review our vows. But, you know, but I want to do something. I'm like, all right, we'll do something. We figure it out. And then, like, that week comes that she's like, hey, babe, I'm going to get baptized this week. I just want you to know, this is what I'm going to start planning for it, all right? It's like, all right. And then, so just woke up the next day, and I was like, Mom, I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. I was like, hey, babe, I was thinking about what you're telling me, and I'm going to get baptized with you. And she's
Wow.
like, and she's like, oh, my God. She started crying. Like,
Shout out to Cindy, by the way. She's a great woman.
Yeah,
we all respect her
absolutely.
here.
Absolutely, man, love of my life, and I love her more today than ever. And,
Wow. Beautiful.
And I can tell you that I told her, I was like this. I was like, babe, we forget the 10-year anniversary. How about we get baptized together and spend the rest of our lives under God, right, with that commitment to God. And so, you know,
Romantic.
we go to church. She signs me up. You know, we go through the whole service. I kid you not, bro. I've never cried in my life as much as I cried that day. Wow. Like, never. Like, and, you know, going back to it, it actually, you know, brings back a lot of those emotions still, even thinking about it and speaking about it today. But I can tell you, you know, that, you know, God does change you from within. You know, and he will change your heart, all for the better. You think you're a good person? Not until you meet God. You're not.
I'm getting emotional right now just thinking about it.
I kid you not. I kid you not, man. It's
Powerful.
Beautiful.
It's real. And
Powerful.
It's real. And you know, nothing can ever make you cry, especially being, you know, a Mexican man, that we gotta stand up. You can't be crying in front of people.
Yeah.
You're not a man if you cry.
Gotta be macho.
Yeah, you gotta be strong. And I mean, in every culture, you have to be that manly man. It ain't just Mexicans, it's everywhere. And, you know, when you go to church and, you know, people are singing, people are praising, there's you know, the people are worshiping, there's preachers speaking to you, bro, and your God is just turning your heart from this darkness to this light. And I cannot explain the amount of emotion that is just happening inside you, and it just comes out in tears. There's such thing as crying for pain, but there's nothing like crying for happiness.
Wow.
And I can tell you from the day I walked in and getting in line, I seen people getting baptized, the tears were just running to my eyes. People would come and, you know, and speak scripture in front of me, and just, you know, scripture, and I would just be like, it just would not stop coming down. And, you know, I was not embarrassed to speak and to be there in front of all these people and just let the tears come. Let God do his work in my heart. Got baptized, and I can tell you, man, life has been completely different since then. The people I meet today, all godly men. I've never met a Christian before. Like, you know, hey, what's up, bro? You're Christian too? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Never before. But again, you don't attract those people because you're not a godly person. But once you become a godly person and you allow God in your heart, you'll start attracting those people, and you'll start making good people. One of my really good friends, Kerwin, dude, guy, I would never talk to this guy. He's 50 years old. He's African American, cool guy, works out, golfer, loves his family, loves God, but absolute, just an amazing man. And I can tell you, he was my spiritual mentor he's been my spiritual mentor for the last 2.5 years. And just an amazing dude, and one after another after another. I've been meeting so many people. I've been invited to lunch and dinners with pastors from my church. Like, you think sometimes when when a pastor says, or a principal says, you know, come to my office, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like, whoa.
Intimidating.
Am I in
Right?
trouble?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But people would invite me to lunch and to dinner because I'd be consistent going to church. I'd be using sermons in my everyday life, in my business, in my family. And I kid you not, man, there's so much value that comes out of being a spiritual person. And it's so true. You need to have a spiritual foundation before you have anything. Because if you do not have a spiritual foundation, we are spiritual beings. Like if you don't believe that, then I'm sorry. You're one day you'll find out. But
Yeah.
we are spiritual beings, and if you start with a spiritual foundation and have that godly heart and let Jesus in your life change you and really work on you for you become a better person, And today, I'm 42 years old. I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. I'm more fit than I've ever been in my life. I'm more in love with my wife today than the day I married her. I am a better father. I'm a better friend. I'm a better son because I made the decision to give my life to Jesus.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. Let's talk about how he also influences business, right? He influences your work through the hardships, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, faith is something that is always worked upon, right? Faith. And you think, what's faith, Dave? What's faith? So you believe in something. Well, yeah, I know I believe in something, but how much do you believe in something? Well, what do you mean there's levels to belief? Yes, there is levels to faith. And if you want a stronger relationship with God, you need to build your faith. How do you build your faith? You let go of what you think is valuable. You let go of what you think is in control. You let go and let God. You let go and you let God lead your life. One of my daily prayers is, God, don't let me lead myself. You lead me. You get in between me and my situation, right? Most people go to God after the situation. Oh, help me, help me, help me. No, it's before. Like, you already know you're going to be tested. Guys, you're going to be tested today. Know that. Every day you're being tested. And it's either you're going to go the godly route or you can go the other route, right? The flesh. And I can tell you the flesh is always going to drag you down into a place that you do not or want to be. You're going to eventually, it's going to fall apart. But you go down that godly route. You let God lead you. You let God have faith. I mean, in the last 2 years, I can tell you that money, right? We value money. You let money get in the way, God, and you want to build a better relationship with God. Start tithing, right? What is tithing?
Giving like a percent of your earnings to the church.
Giving your percent of your earnings to the church. Giving money to people that need. Maybe it's not church, but it's in need, right? Tithing, man, brings so much blessings, and you don't even know it until you do it.
Yeah.
Tithing.
Yeah.
Tithing.
And I can give you an example, right? And this was what blows my mind. Again, God works in mysterious ways. You don't even try to understand. Just have faith. Because when you try to understand, you're eliminating faith. But when you say, I don't need to understand, I'm just gonna have faith. You will never break your head on, well, I don't understand this. You don't have to, just have faith. And a lot of things, even in business, you don't have to understand how business works. You just have to have faith that it's gonna work. And when you have faith that's gonna work, things work out. And here's my example. 2021, I made the most amount of money I've ever made. That's when I broke 7 figures. Right? I've always made 800, 900, and I need to make fucking $1 million. I can't make it. And then finally I broke that 7-figure mark. I went 1.3 million, 1.4 million. Like, yeah, I made it. And then boom, the tax collector hits. Come here. I had to pay the most amount of tax I've ever paid in my life. And it hurts to stroke a 6-figure check to the IRS. 6 figures.
6 figures.
Wow.
6 figures.
Wow.
Good thing I had it saved up. But 6 figures, bam, stroke that check. I wasn't about to pay interest on 6 figures. But I stroked that check, boom, sent it, and I went to my CPA. I was like, Brian, why didn't you tell me this? He was like, you don't tell me. How am I supposed to tell you? You need to tell me what to do, and then I can do it. And I was like, all right, well, we're not doing this again. That's how you understand that once you start making money, you need a CPA, you need a bookie, you need everything to make sure that you're writing off everything because you're going to spend it. You need a team.
Yeah.
You're either going to spend it or you're going to give it to the government. Which one do you want? Build your business or give it to the government. So I learned that. Well, anyway, he's like, hey, well, listen, we're going to try to get that money back through a couple credits, some ERC, maybe PPP loans.
I don't even know what those words mean, if I'm being honest.
I'm being an entrepreneur. You need to learn those real quick. But all that was allowed because of COVID. So 2024, fast forward, right? We're paid. He's working on it. 2024, he's like, hey, Dave, I think we're gonna get some of that money back, blah, 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 2024. I go to this leadership conference with Symmetry here in Nashville. They have a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Make-A-Wish Foundation, guys, if you know, it's for kids that are sick, terminal, that, hey, they only got a couple years left. They're gone. Like, they're lucky to see the age 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe even 20, right? But this Make-A-Wish Foundation is an opportunity for you to donate so they can have their wishes granted before they go.
Wow.
And I did not donate to that organization, right? I've been donating to my church. I send them my 10%, sometimes more. But I didn't donate to that, and I was like, man, that's not a big deal. I go to the organization, you know, and we there where they're doing this raffle. They start doing it. I was like, you know what? This is my time to give. God told me right there, hey, this is time to give. Bid on one. So I bid on this one raffle. It was actually the owner's suite for the conference coming up in Denver. That raffle, I was not losing. It didn't matter how much it cost. I was going to get it. $7,000, I won the bid. Let's go. $7,000. I didn't even realize that's what I did. I was just so excited. Yeah. Bid. I win it. Cool, right? It's going to be a cool thing. I get to go to a conference. We're going to have an amazing place. Second bid came around. It was to have a lake house suite up in this big mansion. One of the founders, his partners are up there.
I've heard of it.
Right? So
Yeah.
the lake house.
Yeah, the lake house.
Everybody talks about it. It's an amazing time. And I get over to Brad Smith, and I was like, hey, bro, let's bid on this together. He's like, oh, all right, yeah, we want to get that. Cool. Dude, the rat starts at 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. And we're like, bro, we're getting this. We're not losing. I was piped up. I didn't care about the money. I cared about winning this thing and being able to donate, right? Because it's all about donating.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just it's money doesn't, it's not an issue. So 15,000, 6,000, 18,000, me and Brad were looking at each other, bro, can we just
Kill it.
let's
just end it.
20,000. 20,000, 21,000. They went to 21,000. All right, 22,000. They went 22,000. And they stopped the bid and they said, all right, hey guys, we're gonna stop the bid at 22,000. We're gonna reserve, both of you guys can get the house, 2 different spots, will be 22,000.
They cut it between.
Bro, so me and Brad split another. So I'm now donating $18,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, right? So, and I'm like, damn, I'm donating. I come home and I'm like, hey, babe, I kind of donated. You did what?
You did what? You gotta tell Cindy.
Yeah. So then she kind of flips out, bro. She's like, you did what? You did this. You're done. Blah 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 blah. We're not a budget. You want to save money so you can invest more in the business, and you're doing this. You're giving away money, and she's like throwing. I'm like, babe, listen. What I did, we cannot take back. We just have to have a solution for moving. I created a big problem. Let's create a big solution. No. At the end of the day, we went to sleep. I was like, listen, if you're going to keep arguing about this, I'm going to stop talking to you. There's no reason. I'm not going to go back in circles. It is what it is. I'm going to donate. It's for a good cause, and that's it. Next day. Check this out. Next day. Here's how God works. Next day, she brings in the mail, IRS. Every time you get a letter from the IRS, it's always bad. You owe somebody money. I was ready to get my checkbook out. IRS, I open that bad boy up. I read it. I'm like, oh my God. Of course, right? This is God, right? Here you go, God, showing off. After reviewing 2021's tax returns, we are refunding you a check for $30,000.
Wow. Wow.
I was like, hey, babe, read this. She almost fell out. She's like, oh my God, I didn't have a doubt. Why do I doubt? And she's like, babe, you know what? You know, it's funny because we went to a leadership conference earlier this year in January. It's called Life Surge. It's for Christians and business and things like really good. And man, I was so moved in that event. In one of the things that they said is, listen, it's not your money, it's God's money. God, tell me where to spend this money. God, tell me where to put this. It's your money anyway. Tell me where to spend it. And God told me to put that in the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I was like, and she's like, you know what? You reminded me of that. This reminded me of that you told me, hey, this is God's money. God, tell me where to spend it, where to put it. You tell me where. And he told me to put it in Make-A-Wish, and I did it, and I'm so happy to do it. And look what I just got back.
That's really powerful. That's really powerful
So
because a lot of people can make money, right? But not with God's plans, not with God's purpose, right? So I want to make a commitment to you today that the next event that you guys have in your church, or even if it's just on a Sunday, right? We're going to go with you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We're committing to that.
It's been long due.
We're committing that today, right now, today in this podcast. So we're really thankful, man, to have you here today with us.
Absolutely.
For being part of our first ever episode of our podcast.
Yes.
Right? It's something that we just enjoy doing. I mean, we've always talked about it.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, we're in the business of financial services, but this is just something that we always want to do on the side, right? Just to get to talk to people like you that are very successful and that we want to hear from your guys' journey and learn from you guys.
Yeah.
Right? So we're just really happy to have you here today. I learned a lot from you. I mean, besides being a great business owner, you're just a great person overall. And I'm just really happy to have you as my mentor, right?
Absolutely.
Just really grateful, man.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful for you guys, man. Every single one of you guys. It means a lot to be able to surround yourself around good people, especially young good people. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, older guys. I mean, I'm not old, right? I'm 42 years old, but it
Definitely don't look 40 either.
it feels good to hang out with younger guys, right? Mm-hmm. And I like hanging out with older guys too, right? Guys that are 10 years older than me. My neighbor's a really good friend. He's very successful, 56 years old, successful entrepreneur in law. Really good dude, and so older, younger, you can never. But as long as it's good conversation,
Yeah.
you feel filled, right?
Yeah.
It's not draining. And it doesn't matter the age. And realistically speaking, bro, older people love helping younger people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we love because we see ourselves like we're reliving. That's one value of having children. You get to relive that again. Us older people get to relive that on the younger youth as well. So I'm super excited for you guys' growth and you guys' success. Keep doing what you're doing. I hope I'm not your only mentor. I hope you guys have multiple mentors because you need multiple mentors. It's not just one in every avenue in your life. Get a spiritual mentor, get a financial mentor, get a physical mentor, and a business mentor. I mean, you need a mentor in everything in life. It doesn't matter what it is. My wife's
you were just our first one.
Style mentor.
Yeah. Just to wrap things up here, this last question, just keep it short if you like, or if not, you can keep going. It doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
But what advice would you give to someone considering entrepreneurship in the field of financial services?
If you're considering a position, an entrepreneurship position here in any financial services, whether it's insurance or retirement or stocks or bonds or whatever, just be excited. Be excited to fail. Be excited to not be perfect. Be excited to go out there and just make a mess of your journey and watch how it all comes together. Don't be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. This business doesn't want you. You don't even have to be qualified. This business will qualify you, right? And God, that's in the Bible, right? I love how Ed Milet says it. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the call, right? And so this business is all about that. This business will not, you don't have to be qualified. You don't have to have a degree. You just have to show up and you will be qualified. And,
Wow.
And it's exciting. It's exciting business.
Thank you. Yeah.
Amazing.
And I mean, it's always that first year that, we went through it.
Yeah.
Like that first year was just, we failed as much as we could. And I'll throw it out there. We made 30,000 between us three our first year. And I told Sebastian, I was like, look, this is our second year, right? With everything we learned, with everything that we went through, we're going to surpass that 30,000. And I think I think we're almost there. And it's barely April. So, guys, it's possible. If we could do it, you guys could do it too. Thank you, David Alvarado, for being here today with us.
Plug in the
Appreciate it.
socials. Where can we find you at, David?
Socials.
IG.
IG, The Real David Alvarado. LinkedIn, same thing. David Alvarado, Facebook, TikTok.
TikTok. The Real David Alvarado.
Real David Alvarado, guys. Go ahead and follow you guys. Your social?
My social, Tony, TRLGY, Tony Trilogy.
Sebas Trilogy, Sebas TRLGY.
Rafa with the same TRLGY. We'll see you guys in the next episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Super Saiyan subiendo de level como Sandal Saya en las Olimpiadas con todas las medallas. Van a extrañarme el día que me vaya. Todos los tuyos quieren tirar la toalla. Estoy demasiado veloz, no pueden verme. Cada vez que quiero quemar, le tiro a Werner. Me gustan más los billetes azules que los verdes.